The next talk is about sustainable energy initiatives, and it's going to be presented by two people, by Khalid Saleh, from the Sustainability Manager at Vopak, and by Rombout Swanborn, the CEO of HyET Solar. Now, Khalid's joined Royal Vopak in 2017, and he's currently overseeing renewables and sustainability initiatives. Experienced sustainability professional with a demonstrated history in development in complex renewable projects. His experience in his corporate roles give him a good understanding of risk and reputation management, sustainability, and CSR. And Rombout Swanborn, CEO of HyET Solar. He has a PhD in mechanical engineering from Delft University. He's worked at Unilever until 1994 before leaving and becoming chairman of engineering company, a high precision engineering company, CDS. And he's also worked with the Africa's Eden project that develops low impact tourism to help pay for conservation in West Central Africa. And in 2012, he co-founded the HyET Solar, which he's going to tell us all about. So they're together, so as you can see. So Khalid, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So hopefully everyone else can as well. So please, the floor is yours, gentlemen.
Again, good afternoon, and apologies from our side for this small inconvenience. I was hoping to see everyone live at the conference. And Mike, thank you for the introduction. My name is Khalid Saleh. I am the Sustainability Manager at Royal Vopak. We are a Dutch company. Next to me is Rombout Swanborn. He's the CEO of HyET Solar. I will do the first part of this presentation, and after which I will give the word to Rombout Swanborn. Next slide is like this. So what I'll be talking about today is give you a brief overview of who we are as a company and what a little bit on our history, but more focus on sustainability and our achievements over the past years, and also what we are aiming to do in the coming years, because sustainability is something that we have embraced for many years and we are embracing more and more. And in order to stay relevant for society, in order to stay relevant for our stakeholders, we need to anticipate on market demand, and it is of importance for us as well. So who are we as Vopak? Vopak, we are a Dutch company with roots of more than 400 years, and in order to stay relevant for at least a couple of more decades, as I mentioned, we need to anticipate on what is coming to us, rather than to sit and to wait. We are the largest independent oil and gas storage company in the world, and we store all types of vital products, which are the raw materials for all your products that you use on your daily basis, such as your iPhone, such as medicine, such as raw materials for your clothes, for example. And we are geographically located at 23 countries around the globe, and we have 70 terminals. So, Vopak's relevance for society, we store vital products with care. That is the slogan, and it is part of our DNA, part of what we think is crucial and what is important to our relevance to the society. So what I mean by that we store all types of vital products, but in order to do so, we need to take the environment into consideration, reducing spills, reducing the harm to the environment, and that is part of our day-to-day business, to provide this clean and efficient way of storing these vital products. And what is also important, that we do not need to look from our side, but we need to have a holistic view and approach multiple stakeholders in what we do as a company. And having said that, I want to speak about sustainability and what we have been doing in the past and what we will be doing in the years. So sustainability is not only about installing solar panels and windmills and looking up about energy efficiency, but it's much more than that. So it is also about a living wage, giving our employees a living wage that they can live all around the world. As I mentioned, we are geographically located around the globe. So that is also a part of how we see and look at sustainability. Of course, apart from energy consumptions and the reducing your environmental footprint, also the safety at our terminals, it is of highest priority for us that the operation at our sites happens at the highest, with the highest safety standards. So important sustainability topics for society and Vopak. You see that our care and the impact for society, ensuring a safe way of storing the products. So, for example, ensuring a process safety, that the equipment is lined up properly, that the product transfer is being conducted properly. Our economic impact, so delivering vital products to customers and society on a timely manner and an efficient manner. And also, by doing so, we want to be an accelerator of also new technologies. We want to embrace new technologies, of which I will speak about a bit later on during my presentation. What I'll be focusing on today is the highlighted green block. It is the care for our environment, so the impact we have on our day-to-day operations and its impact on the environment. So reducing our VOC emissions, preventing water and soil pollution, and the last two could be combined, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but at the same time increasing energy efficiency. And we have put quite some effort in this, and we will strive to put more effort in the future. So we have an ambition to have 0 uncontained spills. We are reporting them in our annual report, and we are very transparent about how we are focusing on reducing our emissions. And in 2020, we had a total of 420 kilotons of Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, being our direct emissions and our indirect scope emissions. We are also following the SDGs, and these are also taken into our annual report, into our sustainability report. So clean and affordable energy, climate action, decent work and economic growth, as mentioned before, industry innovation infrastructure. So we partner with startups and scale-ups who have certain technologies which could be beneficial for us as Vopak, and to further enhance as a company, and responsible consumption and production. I'm not speaking into much detail on these topics, but I could perhaps highlight one or two on these. So, for example, the first one, also facilitating the introduction of lighter, cleaner, and less polluting fuels. Towards the future, we see a trend that there is more need for these types of vital products. And we have the ambition to focus on this, and we want to facilitate the storage of these kind of products in the future. For this slide, I want to take a couple of minutes. Within Vopak, in recent past, we have defined 3 lines of action for our energy transition, as you can see here in these slides. The first one is reducing our environmental and carbon footprint. So these are initiatives like solar, wind, energy efficiency, So direct measures on how we can reduce our environmental footprint and stay relevant. Second one would be facilitating to switch to, as I mentioned before, lighter fuels and feedstocks. You can think of LNG. We have LNG terminals and we operate them as well. And last but not least would be the new energies. So developing infrastructure and assets to facilitate the storage of new energies, such as hydrogen. And perhaps you've heard about a couple of partnerships we have conducted, and we are currently aiming on hydrogen storage. But today I would like to focus on the first line of action being reducing our own environmental and carbon footprint, of which I would like to show you a couple of examples and what we have conducted in the past and what we are aiming to do in the near future. So these are a couple of themes that we as Vopak have focused on reducing our environmental footprint. Initiatives like waste heat, investigating the opportunity or the feasibility, better said, of nearby companies who have waste heat that we could use for our own heat and heat consumption for the tanks. Another one is a very obvious one, is tank insulation. As far as possible, we are insulating the tanks for a better preservation and to have less gas consumption or electricity consumption. I want to highlight a couple of these. Wind energy is a very relevant one for us as well. So we are also looking at the production of wind energy as far as possible. Of course, taking into consideration the restrictions and the risk contours of our sites. But this is a very relevant way of producing green energy on site. Another one, and I will tell you a bit more on solar, is also a very relevant way of producing our own energy, green energy. So both on site and also off site, to see where we have the opportunity and land available to produce the green energy, which we will also consume. And last but not least, solar mirrors. So not only do we consume electricity, but also gas. And by gas, we are using it to heat up our tanks, and we could reduce these Scope 1 emissions by using solar mirrors to generate heat, green heat, warmth, to keep the temperature of the tanks constant at the desired level. Not only are we focusing on the reduction of CO2 emissions, but also looking at how we, within the value chain of where we operate in as Vopak, reduce the emissions, such as, apart from CO2, also the NOx and noise reduction. So one of the pilot feasibility studies that we are currently conducting is to investigate the opportunity whether we as Vopak, together with our partners, Port of Rotterdam and Eneco, could facilitate to provide green electricity to ships. This will reduce the emissions in the harbor, and we think it's very important for us to play a role in this, and we are currently looking into this, whether this is feasible. So we are focusing in this segment for sea vessels, because they have a relative impact, large impact on these emissions. We are currently studying them for Europort and Botlek. So to give another example, this year we started the building of one of the largest solar parks in the Netherlands, nearby our oil tank terminal in Groningen in Eemshaven. So it's a 25 megawatt peak park, and we are building this in partnership with Whitehelm Capital and Groningen Seaports. and the electricity production of the solar parks equivalent to the energy consumption of 8,000 households. Then another nice opportunity. We did this in 2019. We conducted a pilot with HyET Solar to install flexible or thin film solar modules on the roof of our tank. You see this, you see the gentleman here in action, and what you see here is a good view of how these thin film modules are deployed and being applied to the tank roof. So it's very lightweight, it is flexible, and you can easily apply them to the tank roof or perhaps also the tank walls. And what makes these products so unique is that it's cost efficient, it's a high energy efficiency, lightweight, flexible, but the operators, for example, can also walk on top of them. And for Vopak, safety is very, very important. So these solar modules are also tested at ATEX Zone 1 gradation, so they can be installed at a wider range of tanks that we have within Vopak. That is very important in order for the implementation of these solar modules. This picture, you see another view of the solar modules which are being deployed. So, in summary, this is one tank we did and which is currently live in Vlaardingen, 9 kilowatt peaks. It is one tank, and the location here we are speaking is a non-ATEX zone. And we did this in partnership with HyET Solar. And then the last one, before I give the word to Rombout, we are currently in the engineering phase of the next project with HyET Solar, with the solar modules on a larger scale. And in this case, we want to implement it on a larger tank and generate, obviously, more electricity. In this case, we are speaking about one tank, 200 kilowatt peaks. And we will apply both roof and wall. In comparison to the previous project where we only applied it at the roof, in this case, both roof and wall. And what is important to the previous project and this project is that we want to see the applicability of such a project. And until now, we are very happy and satisfied with the results. And that's why we intend to go to the next stage. So thank you all for listening. I am happy to answer more of your questions, but before doing so, I would like to give the word to Rombout. I will click on the slides.
Thank you, Khalid. Good afternoon. My name is Rombout Swanborn. I'm CEO of HyET Solar, which is the company that produces the power flow. So basically, the solar PV product that is that Khalid described in his part of the presentation. It's a lightweight ATEX certified product, and produced from the Netherlands. Next. Obviously, a lightweight product which is both flexible in form and size, can be applied on many more surfaces than tanks, which this picture implies. And currently we're working on similar pilots as with Powerful on football stadium. You see the football stadium of Tottenham Hotspur here, but also on another application. And in fact, the advantages of this product is that it's first, it's a very cost-effective product. It is more cost-effective than silicon glass panels, primarily because of the fact that it consists out of quite abundantly available raw materials like polymers and aluminum foil. It's efficient. It's got very high power density, basically because of the fact that you can fully cover any available surface. It's low weight. We mentioned that. It's flexible, and it doesn't have any doubtful substances in it. Contributing to the low costs is the fact that because we can install unobstructed surfaces, and that will be the case on tank roofs and the sides of tanks as well, the tank walls, it is perfectly suited to be automatically cleaned. And in fact, the cleaning takes place as needed, both with monitoring technology, but also with image analysis. The robot cleaners can be directed to the places where needed. The low-cost characteristics of the products have been validated in a direct comparison with silicon glass panel large-scale power plant. We did that in a joint project with Shell at NREL, which is one of the national labs in the US, which is focused on renewable energy sources. And currently, the applications are being rolled out with, for instance, on the roofs of petrol stations. Here you see an example at Jakarta. Pertamina will be a joint venture partner to build the factory in Indonesia. Yes. And obviously, an application of which we're very proud. Vopak was basically one of the first companies to put trust in our company, in this product on tank roofs. We consider that as a very sizable market as well. Currently here, you see still large open gaps between the different modules, but in the final designs, the complete surface of a tank roof will be covered with modules. We're setting up pilot with Dubai Airport as well. Dubai Airport, as you might know, has got nice curved roofs that will not be able to support glass panel PV. And Dubai Airport having a very pronounced transition policy has opted to work with our product. Here you see the larger demonstration project at Vopak, the one we're setting up now, the 200 kilowatt, where we're in fact optimizing the installation techniques and the electrical infrastructure around the tanks. Equally, planning a pilot with this company where we primarily intend to apply it on the lightweight roofs. The kind of roofs of IKEA stores are comparable to those of large distribution centers or any large factory hall. Quite often, these large roofs are of a light construction that would not support glass panel PVs, but wouldn't have any problem with this lightweight product. Yes. And apart from Tottenham Hotspur, where we're looking, this appears to be a nice application area. That the stadium you see on the right is a present of former President Khrushchev to President Sukarno in Indonesia to keep him loyal to the communist cause. At least the stadium is still there, being cherished by the Jakartans, and doing a pilot there now too. Yes. And well, here you see the kind of problems we are trying to prevent and can prevent with lightweight products. So thank you very much. This is just a short explication of our new innovative PV product, and again, which we're extremely happy to work together with Vopak to develop commercial industrial applications. If you would have any questions, I think we would be happy to answer them.
I'm happy. I think I already see. I see a lot of questions, so I'm very happy that this triggered a lot of from your side. Perhaps we can tackle one or two because Rombout is here regarding the solar foils. Mike, sorry to take this, but what is the durability of the solar foils with regards to the severe weather?
The durability of this product basically is comparable, slightly better than the traditional crystalline silicon glass panels. Even under high UV, high temperature conditions, they have a degradation rate of less than 1% per year. And with our new generation product, we are aiming for a degradation rate of about 0.5% a year.
And perhaps in relation to this question, what is the impact on maintenance operations, cleaning and inspection? Perhaps I can take this one as well.
If you take that one.
If I may. So from our experience that we have until now, because we already did one pilot, which is operational for, I think 2 years now. And also depending on the type of thing, but most of the things are a little bit sloped. So one, and especially in the more western part of Europe, there are more rainy periods resulting in washing any dirt from the tank roof. It's meaning that this will enhance the production of your green energy by the solar foils, and well, reduces any dirt which will stay on the tank. But at the same time, cleaning them is very easy because it is a global vlakte, a smooth surface which can be easily washed without any chemicals. So I hope these two answer your questions, John and Stephen. Mike, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just one other question. Some of the other questions here that people are asking.
Perhaps I can. I see one of the questions on what are your thoughts on developing large-scale batteries using standard tanks? I think this question fits in what we have discussed, because producing electricity with your tanks also would raise the question: would you also be willing to store? So we are, as Vopak, also looking at using our tanks as a storage medium. What we see until now that our current energy consumption is based from hydrocarbons, but towards the future, this will be more on renewable energy. And renewable energy storage could be done in batteries, could be solid state or liquid state. Vopak has 100 years of experience in liquid bulk storage. So technologies like vanadium redox batteries or redox flow batteries are interesting. And we would be looking at conducting pilots to see whether we could store this green energy with our tanks. So yes, we are definitely looking at this. Another one, what about periodic anti-corrosive production need for removal? Anti-corrosive production. So if I understand your question correctly, Darko, so the solar foil, as we see it, provides an extra protective layer on top of the coating. So that is how we see as an extra protective layer, and there would not be necessarily any anti-corrosive protection. going down the list, Karina asks, why are there no solar foils foreseen on the rooftops at the Vopak Eemshaven? Very good question. So at the moment we decided that we want to build a solar park in Eemshaven. This project was not on the radar yet, but it is a very interesting opportunity, and we will definitely look into it. So definitely. I think there are a lot of questions, but we are running out of time. So perhaps I can take one question more. Can the tanks be inspected through the solar foil? Yes, but within the design of the solar foil on tanks, we also intend to leave certain gaps available for inspection. And so we will respect the inspection regime we have based on the standards and the well, basically based on the standards we have within Vopak. We will respect that, and we will take that in the design of the solar foil on our tanks. Thank you all for joining this session.